Hey, welcome back to the SilverFox Sonya podcast, HerStory, episode 3 of Momentary Marriage, because it was just a moment. So last week we left off with Sonya returning back home after being married for 11 weeks. She has told her parents that she just can't take it no more and had to finally break down and tell them what happened on the honeymoon. And as her father stated in episode 2, I don't put my hands on her, and he ain't gonna put his hands on her either. And mom screaming from the back room saying, all that money we spent and she coming back home? Not that mom wanted me to stay in a situation to where it would be abusive, but I guess the first thing she could think of was all of this money we told her, all of this money we spent, we told her, don't do it. So y'all, episode 3, here we go. So thank the Lord for praying parents and praying in-laws. So I have not spoken to my husband really. So his parents have called my parents and decide that they want to have a meeting. My parents agree and say, yes, we do need to have a meeting. So the next evening, his parents come over along with him. We go to my parents' dining room table. We all sit down. Pastor opens with prayer. Once prayer's over, they state why they're there. We're hoping that we could come and have a resolution to all of this and get these kids on the right foot. So my parents are like, okay, well, there's something we need to let you all know. So they look at me and say, Sonya, I need you to tell them what you told us. So they're sitting there and they're just like, what is she getting ready to say? So I tell them the same thing I tell my parents about what happened on the honeymoon. What happens when we get to Cancun, the drinking, the getting to the room, the heated discussion, him raising his fists to hit me. He swings, I fall back on the bed. But I did let them know his fist didn't hit me. But when he swung, I dodged, so he didn't hit me. And I did state to them that I told him, I hate him. So in telling them this, the looks on their face was like a look of disgust. They were hurt. They were just like, I can't believe this. And they looked at him and asked him if it was true. And he was like, no, it wasn't true or whatever. And he's saying it wasn't true because when he did swing at me, he did not hit me. He missed me. But point is, had I not moved, he would have hit me. So we proceeded to talk about some other things that had happened, like him going off at the house and yelling and him constantly leaving to go cut people's hair at night. So after our meeting, they left, went home, and the meeting wasn't long. I think they were really disappointed. So he called me that night when they got home. I didn't speak to him much, didn't have much to say. So as time goes on, y'all, I want to say for 2 or 3 weeks, or 3 weeks, I was in my room most of the day, every day, unless I had to go out somewhere. I was looking for an automobile. I was looking for a job because I had lost my job. So most of the time I was in my bedroom, laying on the floor, on my face with the Bible in front of me for 2 to 3 weeks. In those times when I would come out the room, my dad's concerned. He's he's wondering, okay, Lord, is this child pregnant? So y'all, for about a week, my dad asked me every day, whenever he could catch me out the room, if I'm in the bathroom, if I'm in the kitchen, baby, do you think you could be pregnant? Daddy, no, I'm not pregnant. You sure? Yes, Daddy, I'm sure. Y'all, this went on, like I say, for a whole week, every day or every other day, at least for 7 days. So it finally got to the point one day I was in the bathroom doing my hair. I was getting ready to go somewhere, not sure where. And I hear my dad walking up the hallway. He's like, baby. I'm just like, oh God, here he come. Are you sure you're not pregnant or you could be pregnant? I was like, Daddy, look, Daddy. He had a hard time getting it up. Y'all, I guess my daddy couldn't handle that coming from his baby girl. He turned around. He didn't say nothing else. And he just walked on off. Let me tell y'all, Daddy did not ask me that question no more. So now, after doing my hair, getting ready to go, I needed to go to my apartment to get some clothes and some other stuff because a lot of my stuff was still there. The stuff that I had was the stuff that I had packed when his parents had picked me and my nephew up after he had gotten in a car wreck. So my parents didn't want me to go by myself. So my neighbor, that's like my sister, we called her mom and asked her if it was okay for her to ride with me over there to get some stuff. Her mom agreed and said, yes, she can go. And she came over. My dad pulled out his truck so I could go get some of my stuff. So my mom felt she had to give me some instructions before I left. So Mom is like, Sonya? I'm like, yes, ma'am. When you go over there, you are to get your things only. Your clothes, your toiletries, jewelry, shoes, that stuff. As far as the wedding gifts, you all need to wait to split that stuff up. And y'all, like I told you, we had anywhere from 350 to 400 people maybe at the wedding. And then there were people that didn't come to the wedding that still sent gifts. So there were some gifts at his mom's house, some gifts I think I had a few gifts at my mom's house. But I had gifts in my closet, and then I had one blank closet where it was gifts from the floor all the way to the ceiling on all the shelves. So I said, Mama, okay, no problem. So me and my girlfriend get in the truck. We drive to Southwest Houston off of West Park and 59. And we get out the truck. I had backed it in so I could put some of my stuff in the truck. I get to the door, and I guess we're both kind of nervous because we're like, oh, what if he did not go to work? Because it's during the day. It's probably 11:30, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm listening at the door to see if anybody is in the apartment. So I'm listening. I don't hear nothing. I don't hear a TV, radio, or nothing like that. I'm like, okay, we're probably good. So I stick the key in and I go in. It's dark. You can tell there's nobody there. So I go in and I go to my bedroom so I can go get my stuff. And my girlfriend that's with me, now y'all, this is my neighbor. We've been friends forever since the age of 13. So probably was that 10, 11 years. So I go in my room and I start to look in the closet. make sure my clothes are there, which they are there. And she's like, oh, your apartment is cute. I'm like, thank you. And she said, you already decorated. It's nice. So, y'all, I literally go to my closet and start taking stuff out my closet. So I grab, a bunch of clothes like this and then pick them up and then place them on the bed so I can take them with us. So she goes to the restroom and then comes out and asks if she could have some water. I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. And I was like, it may be some Kool-Aid in here. So I go in the refrigerator and I look and I'm like, oh, there's no Kool-Aid, but I can make you some. So I go to the pantry to take out the Kool-Aid, and then I go to the cabinet to get the glasses out. And I open the cabinet and I don't have no glasses. Now, y'all, I told you, 350 to 400 people at the wedding, right? I had all my place settings, which were 22 place settings, tons of glasses. Yeah, we had tons of stuff. Didn't have places to keep it. So it's no glasses. And I'm just like, where are my glasses? So then I open the drawer. I'm like, okay, silverware and spoons and stuff are there. Okay. So then I open the cabinet to where the plates are. Yeah, I'm like, where my place settings at? I had 22 place settings. Dinner plates, salad plates, bowls, coffee mugs, all of that stuff. There's only 7 in the cabinet. So I'm just like, where are all the dishes? I look for the pots. And y'all, I had some purple vision pots. I love purple and had some purple vision pots. Pot said, find me. So then I said, okay, let me go over here to the closet and check the closet. It was one thing in that closet. I don't even remember what it was because it wasn't a box to where like it was the box that the actual item came in. It's like somebody put something in a regular like shirt box or whatever. So y'all, when I tell y'all I had some beautiful wedding gifts, I don't know if I had some sterling silver, what do they call? Chafing dishes. So back in the early 90s, the chafing dishes, not like the chafing dishes we have today, but they were sterling silver with the intricate stuff on the side and the lids, and they had like the tea light candles. I had about 3 or 4 of those in there. Y'all, I had some beautiful stuff. It said, find me. At this point, y'all, I'm boiling. I go pick up the phone. I call my mama. I said, Mama, you told me not to touch nothing. Guess what? I can't touch nothing because it ain't nothing here. It's all gone. Sonya, calm down. She knew I was getting ready to go off. And y'all, I'm pretty calm. I'm cool, collective. It takes a lot to make me mad, but when I go there, I'm a bear. I'm a bear for real, a booger bear. So she's like, Sonya, just calm down. We'll talk about it later. We'll get with them and work it all out or whatever. So I'm mad. I'm ticked. And my girl that's with me, y'all, any of y'all that's on here that went to school with me, if y'all know Melinda Jimenez, back in the day, she was like the Chicana Ruca. She be ready to fight you. She would fight me and her sister, but nobody better not mess with us. So she was like, she started getting scared. And I'm like, shit, if she getting scared, she be the one that be ready to fight. But she getting scared because she think he may come in. So I'm like, girl, let's just pack up this stuff. So at that point, y'all, I got all my clothes, my shoes, anything that was left from the wedding. I was wrapping it up in sheets, in towels. I broke my bed down because it was my bed. I said, girl, we fixing to break this bed down. We was putting everything in the truck. If it was my TV, it was going. Anything that was mine. Anything that was left, I took it all. All of it. Because I didn't think I should have left it. So we get everything piled up in the car. I lock up the house. Oh, and by the way, I even took the telephone. So back in 1992, we didn't have no cell phone. Maybe some pages, but not no cell phones. I took the phone. So when he came home, he didn't have a bed to sleep on. He had no phone to call nobody. He was stuck like Chuck. We get on back to Pearland, unload the truck, and y'all, Melinda really was scared. She was scared even on the ride back home. Now we out of the apartment. She thinks somebody gonna chase us down. But we made it back to Pearland, unloaded everything. So by the time I got everything unloaded and I settled down, I called his mom and I let her know that all the wedding gifts were gone. Now, I don't know if she knew the gifts could have been at her house. I don't know. Never found out. To this day, I still don't know what happened to the gifts. So, it may have been another week or so that went by, because I was not talking to him. I didn't have nothing to say to him, nothing at all. However, I had started talking to an attorney or trying to get legal assistance. And at that time, I couldn't afford an attorney. So this particular person I was speaking with had given me some information to contact somebody who could help me represent myself and do my own divorce, which I did. So in the counseling session, they asked me what had happened, and I told them what was going on, what happened. And I let them know that I'm thinking maybe he was doing drugs. And I never knew. He always said it wasn't him. He always said it was his brother and his cousin that did that. He didn't do that. So she let me know that I could probably get this marriage annulled since he had lied. She said you could file under annulment under him not being truthful to you. So I was like, okay, let's do that. So I had let him know that I wanted out. I didn't want to do this. So I believe he had told his mom that I wanted out. So as I said, a week has gone by after I've let him know I wanted out. So I tried reaching him. I couldn't reach him. It's like, okay. So another week or so goes by. Hadn't heard from him. The apartment place is calling my parents' house because they're looking for the rent for the month. But since I'm not there, I'm not working, I'm just like, I don't have it. It's just going to have to not get paid and go on my credit. I call his mom. I'm like, Mom, the apartment people call. So I'm guessing Michael's not there anymore. Is he there with you? She's like, no, he's not here. I'll let him know you call. So I'm like, okay. Hadn't heard anything from him, y'all, probably another week. So I call again. And I always get Mom when I call. I never would get Dad. So I'm like, Mom, I'm looking for Mike. Have you talked to Mike? Sonya, I don't know where Mike is. I have not heard from Michael. I'm like, nobody knows where he is? Is he alive? She's like, I do not know. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, it's like she's not even really concerned. So I'm like, okay, Mom, if you hear from him, please have him call me. So I never get a call from him. So y'all, probably 2 months have gone by. And I'm telling my mom and dad I want out of this, talking to my grandmother. And, my grandmother has told her friends what's going on with me because her friends treats us like we're their grandchildren, So I get a call one evening, and it's my grandmother. And she states that Cleo, who was her hairdresser at the time, had called her because she went to go see her nephew. And while going to see her nephew, sitting there visiting her nephew, she sees Pastor and First Lady walk in. Now, y'all, Miss Cleo is at Centercore Foundation, which is a drug rehabilitation center. So yeah, Ma know where her son is, but Ma don't want to tell me because she's trying to get her son cleaned up so I won't divorce him. So I've gotten this information, y'all, and I am livid. I'm livid. I'm hurt. I'm mad because his mom has lied to me. And y'all, it hurt me so much because this is the woman that, as I stated in episode 1, I guess it was like she was dating me. And I had grown so fond of her. Y'all, really, really fond of her. I loved that woman. So, I was down and depressed for maybe 2 days. And all of a sudden, it was like something just hit me. It's like, okay, girl. Snap, snap. You got to get going. You got to get this ball to rolling. So I didn't tell the lady that was helping me with legal consultation to do the divorce that I now knew where he was, because I told her I didn't know where he was. So because I didn't know where he was, I couldn't get it annulled. So I had to go forth with a divorce. So I called her and let her know, hey, I'm ready. I'm ready to submit. What do I need to do? What else needs to be done? Because if I didn't get this done now, he would be in drug rehab, get out, and then want to be back together. So for me to get to this divorce, I needed to file the paperwork. And what they were going to do, since I didn't know where he was, his mom didn't know where he was, they were going to file a publication in the paper for it to be answered in the paper. If no one replied to the publication that was in the paper for the divorce, my divorce would be granted. So I got the ball rolling, y'all. I made sure I got all my paperwork filled out and I got it done. So a couple of weeks passed by. I think I got one phone call. They needed something else. I took care of that. And before I knew it, within, I want to say 6 weeks, my divorce was final. And I think I paid maybe $25 or $30 for my divorce. But y'all, hallelujah, I was free and clear. God got me out of it. I had to go through some hell, but I came out on the other side. So some months have passed by, and in between this time, y'all, I have met another guy, and his name is Michael too. So we got married in August. So it was October 1993. So a whole year and 2 months have gone by. And my phone rings. And it's my birthday. It's the husband I've divorced wanting to take me out for my birthday. So I'm like, that's not going to be possible. And he's like, well, why not? I mean, I'm your husband. Don't you want to see me? You hadn't heard from me in months. I'm like, yeah, exactly. I hadn't heard from you in months. I didn't know where you were. So I proceed to tell him, we're not married. He's like, what do you mean we're not married? I said, we're not married. And this is a telephone conversation, y'all. And he's like, we got to be married. I said, no. So I had to go down and explain to him how we weren't married anymore. Because I did not know where you were. Because your mom did not know where you were. I was able to file for a divorce, place it in the paper. Once it was published, if no one answered within a certain amount of time, the judge granted me my divorce. Y'all, he boo-hooed. He boo-hooed like a baby and said, can we try to work it out? I've done better. I did lie to you. I was doing drugs. But I'm better now. Can we work it out? I said, I'm so sorry. We can't work it out. I'm already dating someone else. We got off the phone. That was the end of that conversation. I never spoke with him again for some years. However, in the next segment, not episode, this is the final episode of Momentary Marriage, because it was just a moment. But in the next segment, he does return again. So this is the end and the finale of Momentary Marriage. I hope you enjoyed it and you'll be back with me when I come back with this next segment of 17 Years a Wife. Y'all be blessed. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you've gotten something out of this. I can say for me, y'all, what I got, my lesson from that marriage was that I need to listen and hear what people are saying and not be so hard-headed. The other lesson I received from that and I learned is how much God really loves me, because he delivered me from that. But y'all be blessed. Have a good night or a good day by the time you see this. I love y'all. Smooches.